Hi everyone, welcome to another week of Coach's Corner. As this week we're going to talk Ponca City Wildcat Wrestling. It's about that time of the year where the wrestlers are getting set for a busy season, about 3 weeks away from the opening match of the year. We welcome in our second-year wrestling coach, former Wildcat Jason Leavitt. Coach, how's it going right now? I know you're anxiously awaiting the arrival of your football players into your weight room now.
It's going really good right now. I think our technique is getting to the point where we're going to have a better competitive edge with our guys, and I think the kids are responding to it. It's a lot of practical wrestling that is going to make them better in the long run. Just a lot of position wrestling, and I think our kids are enjoying it. They're coming with a good attitude. They're just excited to go wrestle.
How are our numbers, Coach, in the wrestling room right now?
We're about at 43. About 43 right now, which is up from last year, and you know, it's just going to steadily increase as time goes.
Let's talk about who will be assisting you in your high school program, and then some of those guys that'll be working in the junior highs in your program.
We have Coach Mark Kimbrell. He'll be with us at the high school. Sean Tagliatella, and he'll be at the high school as well, working with our upper weights. And he was a guy that, you know, he was behind some really talented individuals when he was in high school, so there's no doubt that he probably would have been a state placer if he wasn't behind guys that were nationally ranked. And then we just brought in Coach Jared Wynn. We brought him over from Blackwell. He was a two-time state champion wrestler for the Maroons over there, so we're very fortunate to have him in. And you know, we're going to try to use him kind of as a utility guy, you know, where we can send him down a day to the junior high and still be around those kids and be involved and get to know them, build some relationships of his own. So he's excited about it, and he wants to look out for the future, and I think we'll start doing that with some of our other high school coaches just to keep them involved and let the kids get to know them before we get them in the next couple of years. Junior high level, we'll have Kevin LaRue will be our head coach. He does a really good job, you know, managing the whole junior high program. Ty Burns, he's going to be in there. He's done an outstanding job with the kids. Builds really good relationships with them, and that's key, especially in a sport like ours where it's just day in, day out. You're bleeding and sweating, and you know, you're trying to pick a kid up after a loss. He just has those relationships that the kids respond to. And we have Coach Justin Rollo, so he's a former state champion of ours, and we're fortunate to have him because he's every bit as involved with our youth program as he is our junior high and high school. He's just as excited as anybody just to see where our program's at right now and getting ready to make that transition back to where we need this thing to be, where we're competing at the highest of levels. So he does a really good job from that aspect, and it's great that he's at that level with the youth kids coming in, so there's an easy transition. You know, he can keep an eye out and he can help the coaches get prepared for what's coming next. So,
well, your title is high school coach, but as probably any coach around the state will tell you, you better have a relationship with your junior high and your youth wrestling programs in any community.
Absolutely. Our youth coach right now is for our open kids is Brett Kincaid. He's done an outstanding job, very positive attitude. He understands that the kids at that level need the basics and the fundamentals of the sport, and you know, the kids respond to him and they enjoy having him in the room. He's got several guys helping him out. John Turvey's over our novice program, and they took 70 kids to the Perry Novice Tournament and took home Division I first place, Division II second, Division III first place. So they're all doing an outstanding job with the kids, and Chris Swenson, he's the kids club president, so he's really on point when it comes to where the program needs to be, and he understands the tradition, and so he's doing everything outside of the room to help promote our sport in our community. So
let's talk about your high school team. It may be a little easier to talk about some of the lighter and middleweight kids right now, because I know some of your heavier kids are the football players that'll be coming in, but obviously you're putting things together at this time. And again, wrestling, I know you want to be successful early, but February, it's really important. But what's going on right now in your room?
Right now in our room, we're really focusing on our probably 6 basic moves, and that's something we work day in, day out. We do a lot of skills matches, which keeps them going. You know, they can add in some of the things they like to do, and we can help them get better in those areas. You know, I think our position wrestling is getting a lot better. Kids still need to. I think they're starting to understand that the positioning of the sport is key, because if you don't have good position and mat awareness and knowing where you're at, it can cost you in any match. With our lineup, I think we're competitive at every weight. We're still trying to figure it out on who's going to be where, which is a good problem. And I love to have those headaches where you have plenty of depth and you think to yourself, well, what gives us a better option? You know, and the kids, they figure that out on their own on the mat. That's why I love this sport so much. It's they figure it out on the mat, and whoever's the guy, you're gonna get your time in the spotlight. So I think that, you know, with that being said, that just goes to credit with our coaching staff and everybody supporting us and getting kids out.
Last year, obviously, you put a lot of kids out on the mat that probably should have been wrestling JV and probably did wrestle some JV, but because of the nature of things, you put them out there. Sometimes they won, sometimes they lost, but one thing that you and I both know is that anytime they're out there, that's a valuable experience, and probably a lot of those kids are going to benefit from having to be forced into wrestling last year.
Absolutely, and we'll be young again like we were last year, but I see some of the kids, they were discouraged towards the end of the year, which they ran into some buzzsaws along the way, and that's hard to get around wrestling the schedule that we wrestle. And now they're remotivated. They've got that up where they're not happy with their end result, so they're wanting more out of it, and you can work with any kid that has that attitude.
Yeah, a lot of times kids will wrestle to just hang in there and maybe try not to get pinned, and that's a mentality. I promise you, I saw many a kid that they wrestled a great match just not to get pinned. Now maybe they take it a step further. Okay, I want to win now, or I want to make sure I have a chance in the third period. And
absolutely,
that's all just a state of mentality for a high school wrestler too. We open the season in about 3 weeks, Coach. I think our first duel is with Bartlesville, I believe, and
yes, it is.
So we have another tough schedule this year with a lot of early tournaments. You got Perry and Kansas City early on, so by Christmas, you guys will have the wheels turning, I'm sure, as to what your lineup's going to be.
Absolutely, and we're going to go to an open tournament November 22nd at Tulsa Union, just for our kids to get in that environment, go out and have an official there and put an ankle band on just to get back in the routine of things. And they'll have a lot of quality matches, and it helps us as coaches to see specifically as a team what do we need to work on today, tomorrow, and the next day, just to, preventative measures. So I'm excited about it.
That's outstanding. I tell you, that it used to be the Oklahoma Open was a big thing to go to. I don't hear a lot about that anymore, but getting some matches in before the regular season starts, that's pretty important too.
It's very important. Just everybody else out there is doing it. So we might as well jump on board, or we're going to miss the boat. The way I feel, so it just gives you a little bit of an edge.
How's Jagger Leavitt doing these days?
He is doing really good. He's got him a singlet, and he's running around on the mat.
See, a year and a half now?
He's just over a year.
Just over a
Turned
year.
in
Wow.
September. So
Wow.
he's running around, and you'll be seeing him at the matches and tournaments. And my wife, she's ready for season to be here.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's getting prepared. It's a family matter for sure.
You kind of say goodbye for a couple of months, don't you?
You really do.
Absolutely.
Even when you're at home, you're thinking about wrestling.
Uh-huh.
So
Absolutely. Good luck this season, and we'll
Thank
see you
you.
on the 2nd of December. Former Wildcat Jason Leavitt, our head coach, Ponca City High School Wrestling on Coach's Corner.